Good afternoon, Dr. Capozzi and Board of Education. This month, for the October board meeting, I have the pleasure of going over a few of the things that we do planning and drill wise to keep our students and staff as safe as humanly possible in case some type of crisis should arise. So it's important to not only worry about the planning for these events, but to also then drill different scenarios which allow our staff and students to gain a conceptual idea of what this might look like. Heaven forbid we ever have to deal with any of these different types of emergencies. Um, this is broken down into four basic areas. I could spend a lot of time going down a rabbit hole on any of the things that we prepare for. But as we have refined some of these processes over time, the idea is to keep this as simple as possible so our staff do not have to think more than absolutely necessary. Like I said, heaven forbid we're in a real emergency and they need to take action and not necessarily be thinking about what to do, but we put them in a position where they can just do it. So I will just briefly share out about the annual meeting we have with first responders and leadership here in Oregon to see what needs to be gone over or revised or updated. Then I will share with you the required drills that are required by the State Board of Education, followed by the practice that we use if there ever was like an active shooter situation. That has morphed over the years into a simple lockdown, into really evacuating if absolutely possible, and then additional drills that we do on top of the ones that are required. So first of all, I've attached a link which you can open up. It's the agenda for our annual crisis meeting, and this is where first responders and OCUSD leadership come together and review our crisis plan. Ann Soul, secretary here at the junior senior high school, does a great job with physically updating the plan each year. That includes personnel changes and things of that nature where somebody's plugged in to a certain role in the management plan and then they retire and then we have to fill that role and shift people around. So the big thing that came out of this meeting this year was we used to provide our first responders with a manual, like a hard binder of our crisis plan, and then rosters of kids. Well, obviously that has drawbacks because when you have a new kid move in or a kid transfer out, that is no longer accurate. So then it went to, we put it on a thumb drive so they didn't have to carry a big binder around. But again, the staticness of the information in that thumb drive was of concern. So now we actually share a Google folder with them that has live updates. It updates every 24 hours. So if a kid moves into the district, it's reflected in that folder because it links directly to PowerSchool and will update rosters and class rosters and things of that nature. So that was a really good thing that came out of this year's meeting. Here is a chart of our scheduled drills for the year. ISB requires, the State Board of Education requires fire drills and shelter in place drills, which are, can be storm related, lockdown drills, reunifications and things like that. So here's just, you open up this link, it's going to show you for the drills and when they're scheduled for the elementary school and the junior senior high school. This is the practice that we implement. God forbid we ever are in a situation where there's an active shooter. Like I said before, the old rule of thumb was simply lock down, get everybody in the room, turn off the lights, barricade the door, and go hide in a corner. But bad guys, that's 25 static targets if they do enter the room. So that's not the best practice anymore. So we use the ALICE concept of alert, lockdown, keep everybody informed with live information, then they know how to counter and then evacuate That's the ultimate goal, is to evacuate if you can safely and get to your reunification spot. Here's the entire ALICE slide deck that first responders use with us to help teach us. So if you're interested, you can open that up and scroll through the different slides. And then lastly, a new drill this year is an earthquake drill, which I had never done before. Dr. Capozzi suggested that we do that in the unlikely event that we do experience a tremor. This will give kids an idea of how to